practicing Christian. However, along this journey, like, if you knew, you knew. Hello everybody, my name's Amiir. That's spelled A-M-I-I-R. Some people spell one I. My name's two I, so I like to think I'm special. And I am a content creator in which I post educational videos, scientific fact videos, just more content that I like. And hopefully a lot of people watching this like as well. The first book that I'll be introducing today is To Shake the Sleeping Self by Jedidiah Jenkins. This book is essentially a man who is 30 years old and he's not feeling to work in the corporate world anymore and decides to embark on a journey 5,000 miles across America from Oregon to Patagonia, overcoming many obstacles, physical, mental, and spiritual. In each place that I'm traveling to, there's a part of myself that I haven't found yet. So for me to be traveling to each of these places, I'm sort of unlocking a new bit about myself, and that's essentially what he's presenting in this book. And he's doing it on a bike as well, so it's not something ordinary. He's doing it on a bike. The bit I relate to most, it was essentially him climbing mountains. He's not only climbing the mountains physically, he's doing this mentally as well, finding out more about himself and really being real with himself and understanding that he's not actually the perfect person. I could relate to that a lot because coming from the place I do, luckily I was able to have a good upbringing. However, just like anyone, everybody has their flaws. And for me to really understand what those flaws are is a crucial part to any human's development. There's multiple lessons from the book that you can learn from. When I'm taking lessons from something, I like to put it into a quote. So I would like to take a quote from his book. Here's one quote that stuck with me forever, and there's something that I tell other people and they tell me, what are you talking about? And I'm just like, if you knew, you knew. Routine is the enemy of time. Everybody's constantly concerned with being in a routine. A routine is directly proportional to perfection. Being in a constant routine where everything's the same becomes overwhelming. The way he overcame all these physical hardships, mental hardships, spiritual hardships is something I can relate to very highly. The book in itself changed my perspective massively. The things you've been doing your whole life isn't necessarily all there is to life. And the fact that I could do something else and the fact that there's no cap to the potential is just something beautiful. Chapter 1, that's what I'd say. Chapter 1. My adventure has just been up, it's been down, been up, sort of like a mountain if you think about it. That's been my adventure for the whole of my life, and I wouldn't live any other way. When you say Mandem, who are you referring to? Like everyone?
Yeah, Mandem, yeah. Whatever Mandem means to you, okay. That's who you're referring to.
Yeah. The Mandem reading this book would mean for them to take something from this book and apply it to their lives. Not only are you taking someone else's different perspective, you're also going to learn a lot more about yourself. You actually don't know as much as you think. And it took me a while to understand this. Hold on. I could have really applied that to my life. Why have I not chosen to do that? And that's something that I have done. So that's why I think the Mandem should read this book specifically. I like watching stuff that I can take away and share with the people around me. Educational content, nature content. I used to fall asleep to watching David Attenborough. No, that sounds a bit weird, but I used to fall asleep to watching David Attenborough on my screen, out in the safari in a random place, Tanzania, just seeing the wildlife and just really expressing himself. That's something I've always enjoyed, the educational side of it, both the creative side of it. So for me to really sit down and not only watch the content that I love, actually sit down and make it for the people out there that are just like myself, which I'm sure there's millions of people out there just like myself. Everything I do on my content is something that I like to watch. For people to watch this and really interact is something I'll forever be grateful for. And this may sound a bit psychotic, but I love true crime. I love sitting there watching true crime, really what the police are doing, the FBI, really seeing the behind the scenes. I love it. True crime is something that I really want to get into. This next book that I'm introducing is A Life on Our Planet by Sir David Attenborough. And this book, where do I even get started? I read this book during a tough period in my life where I was also developing. So to read a book about the development of the things around me, being nature, was truly beautiful. This book introduces Sir David Attenborough as the biologist that he is, and he also does nature conservation. The whole aim is for the world that we live in to be conserved and to be cherished and loved. So what David Attenborough portrays during his 93 years being on Earth is the decline in people's contribution to the nature and to the climate, an increase in climate change, as we can unfortunately see in Antarctic, where we've got polar ice caps melting completely. What does my contribution really affect in the world? You know, if I drop this one plastic bottle, what's really going to happen? You know, if you have that mindset, millions of other people also have that mindset. If everyone constantly has that mindset where if I drop this one plastic bottle, what's it going to do? We've got 1 million plastic bottles in the ocean because everyone shared that one mindset that you did. I'm someone that loves the environment a lot. I feel like being out in nature is the one time you can really see what's around you. We're constantly stuck in these concrete jungles, walking around, seeing these tall skyscrapers. Nature's the one time you can feel at home and really yourself, just really breathe and take in everything that's around you. One thing that really got me was I went into my garden. I had looked up and I had not seen stars. I mean, I've always grown up to think, yeah, stars are something that just always in the night sky. And I soon realized this started my whole environment interest. That was purely the light pollution. Pollution in itself is blocking what's apparent. What else is being blocked from my perspective? And David Attenborough really dives into this in his 93 years, documenting everything. We instantly think of the people around us. We constantly think, oh, my responsibility is this person. My responsibility is myself. My responsibility, I need to make sure I pay off my car insurance. I need to pay this off. That's the responsibility I initially had. Humans play a huge role in the global climate that we currently live in. But yet we have no contribution, a positive contribution to the global climate. All we like to do is think of the people around us and everything around us and all the problems we have created for ourselves. So for me, responsibility has shifted majorly. Not only is what's around me important, but what's really around me is more important. And the place we come from, the place we get everything that we eat from, that's what we need to really be looking after. I mean, it's good to look after yourself and all, but how can you really look after yourself when where it is that you are is in total trash, you know, it's total shambles. Sorry for my language. So when I think Mandem, I'm constantly thinking of the lads, the people you're around. And the conversations I have with the Mandem is never about the environment. It's never about the environment. I'm pretty sure you guys know what the conversation is about. It's never about the environment. So why the Mandem should read this book, because you could take many things from this book that are way beyond your usual conversation. For the Mandem to be reading this book would not only make me very happy, but it would also probably open your eyes up a lot more to the things you're creating. Like I said previously, you know, your little contribution, you may think it doesn't do much. Your little contribution adds up and it can really affect that environment that you are around. That's why I think the Mandem should read this specific book by David Attenborough, Our Life on Our Planet. Hopefully you can take all the books that I've mentioned into consideration. I mean, these books are something that really affected me and something that I believe a lot of the people, especially the Mandem, should be reading. You can find me on TikTok at Amiir Man, AMIIRMAYN.